Okay, so I am going to lead you through the first database assignment, Database1. And the things that I am going to do are exactly the same as what the assignment is. So everything I do here is the same as the assignment. So first thing I'm going to do is launch Postgres. So I'm just going to search down through the programs until I get to the P's. You'll see PSQ11, and then I will do pgadmin. In a lot of the future videos, this will already be up. I'm just launching it now because we're kind of new at it. And it'll take a moment. And on this machine, it'll launch into Edge. It goes into whatever is the default web browser. So, slowly. It is indeed taking longer than usual. So hopefully it'll load here. Almost there, it says. I did not expect it to take so long, or I would have just had it preloaded. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to click on the server and I will provide the password. p@ssw0rd1. I'm going to do OK, and it should open up everything. So right now we've only got the database, Postgres. So we're going to add a couple of databases, and then we'll go get the scripts and run them. So on the databases, I am going to right-click, Create Database. And the first one I'm going to do is Community Assist. We can look at the definition. I think everything is fine here. We're going to base it on template 0. We'll do PG default. We'll use the default coalition, and we'll use the default character type. Okay, and then we'll save it. The -1 means that it has unlimited connections. Okay, so there's Community Assist. And it has, if we look, it has all of the different object groupings. It has the catalogs, it has the extensions, the foreign languages, the raptors. It has a public schema, it has tables, but when we go there, there's no tables there. Okay. So, I am going to right-click on Community Assist and say Query Tool. This launches the window for SQL queries. Then in the browser, I am going to go to github.com/spconger, and we'll just go there. That's my GitHub repository. And I'm going to look at database schema. And I'm going to go into other scripts, and I'm going to get the Community Assist PG SQL. So this is a script that will create the database tables. So I want to go to raw, because raw will take away any formatting that might cause a problem. I'm going to do Control-A, Control-C. I'm going to go back to pgadmin4, and I'm going to paste. Alright, and then I can hit the lightning bolt on, which is execute, and it'll execute. And notice it says that query returned successfully in 1 second and 476 milliseconds. Now, if I refresh, I'm going to go to tables and just click refresh, and we open that. You'll see that it has a complete list of tables. And within those tables, there is data. So I'm just real quickly going to do select star from person. Person is one of the tables. And I'm just going to run that one. Don't run the whole script over again. Ah, yes, person does exist. All right, let's make a new folder. Let's do a new window, new query tool. And we'll do the select star from person. This time it should work. It just needed to be refreshed. So there's the results of querying. So running that script, we created all the tables for the database, and we populated it with data. Couple of things. The Community Assist is the database that I will often use for examples. For your assignments, you'll be using this other database, which we will create right now. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to create a database. I'm going to create the database called Tech Certificates. Again, I'm going to go to the definition. This is just partially to be sure. I want to make sure we do template 0, not Community Assist as the basis. I will show you why in a moment. And then we'll do the defaults for the others. So I'm going to save that. Slowly, there we go. So now we have tech certificates. Once again, I'm going to do a query tool for that. We are going to go back to GitHub, get out of the raw here, go to database, go to other scripts, and get tech certificates SQL. Do the same thing with it. Make it raw. Everything's moving slowly today. And I'm going to copy it, go to pgadmin, and we will paste it. And then we will run. Okay, completed successfully. If we go into the schema and we look at the tables, we will see that it has a complete list of tables now. So that's one way to create a database from a script. If you want to look at these scripts, you can, but we don't need them anymore. They could both be closed down. So I'm going to close this one, and I'm going to close this one, and I'm going to close this one. You could also leave them open if you want, but we do not need the database script now, and we can only run it once. Okay, so the databases are there. Now I want to show you another way to make a database. So we made it with the SQL script. So I'm going to close these just to make a little less room. Another way you can make a database is just, I'm going to just create the database the way we did before. This one I'm just going to call testDB. Actually, before I do this, let's cancel this. I want to add a tablespace. So we've got two table spaces, PG default and PG global. What table spaces are logical designations for disk spaces. They could, typically they're on different machines or at least different hard drives. We're going to make a new table space on our own machine. So I'm going to do this as test underscore table space. All right. And we're going to go to the definition, and we have to say where this is going to be. And I'm going to do, I don't know if I can do this here. I'm going to say C documents. Let's see if it'll do that. Well, actually, I don't think I want it to be on documents. Let's cancel. I'm going to go into the file, things, and on C drive, just to make this easy, I am going to create a folder just on C. I'm just going to right click in here, do a new folder. Come on, new folder. And we'll call it TBL spaces. Okay. And again, this would be normally on another drive. So, having made that, I'm going to right click, create a table space, and I'm going to call it test table space, and then we'll go to definition, and I'm just going to do C colon table spaces. So I'm going to do save. Okay, so we have our test table space. Now you can put a whole database on a table space, or you can put just some tables on a table space. So we could look at this more later. And again, the table space typically wouldn't be on the same disk. It would be on another disk or even another machine. So I'm going to now create a new database. I am going to create a database, and we'll call this test DB. I'm going to go to the definition. I'm going to base it again on template 0. I'm going to, for the table, I'm going to do test table space. And I'm going to do the others as default. I'm going to save that. Okay. Now, if I go to C drive again, and I look at table spaces, we have a file in there, and we have all of these different parts of the database file, which you should not mess with, but just to show you that they exist. Okay, so the database has been put on that table space. I want to show one other thing about the databases, so I'm going to create, so I'm not going to create, I want to get the query tool. And I'm going to add a table. Now this table may not be exactly the same as the table that I have in the assignment, because I'm doing this off the top of my head. But I'm going to create a table. I'm going to call it log table. Okay, and then open and closing parentheses. And we're going to say log key serial primary key. Serial is a data type that basically auto numbers. I'm going to do log date stamp, and we will do date time default current timestamp. Okay. And then we will do we'll just say person key. So what person is being logged in, or actually there's a login table. Login table key int, let's do it integer, references login table. Okay, I believe there's a login table. Oh, actually there isn't in this. Let's just do user key integer and let it be at that. And then I'm going to do a semicolon, and we'll make this table. Date time. Okay, so I didn't like date time. Let's see if timestamp works. That did work. Okay, so we got log date stamp, and we've got that. Okay, so the main point of this table is not to make it workable. I want to show you that I can make a new database using the testDB as a template, and it will automatically include this table. So let's make a new database, and I'm going to call this database testDB2, and I'm going to go to the definition, and I'm going to base it on testDB, and we will put it on the default. And we will give it the regular coalitions, and then we'll save it. So I need to, before I can do this, I'm going to cancel that. We've done this query, so I'm going to kill this query. And the reason is that you can't use it as a template if other things are depending on it. Alright, so let's try it again. Create database, testDB2. Alright, definition. And we're going to go, we're basing it on testDB. We'll do it on the regular. If it doesn't, we can move it to the, let's not do POSIX, let's do English. Alright, let's save that. See if it'll go this time. One other session is using the database. What else is using the database? Let's change this to test table and see if it'll save now. Okay. I'm going to cancel this. I am going to go to the server dashboard. What's using the testDB? It's being listed as client read. It's idle though. I am going to disconnect the database. See if that works. So I'm going to create database testDB2 testDB do it on, I still want to do the default, I think. So one of the things you can see here is that sometimes, okay, so that worked when the test DB2 was. So if I open this and I go to schemas and I go to tables, notice it has the login table, right? It was based on the template that we had created, and now it has the table. So one of the things you can do is if you can adjust and you can create your own templates. I think that's all for this assignment. Again, nothing ever goes quite as smoothly as I hoped when I do these, but I believe this will give you the basics that you need for the assignment. So I will kill the video.